centuries, you've been the sick baby of the world. Poverty, death, insecurity, diseases, and evil have remained your identity. Darkness has covered you, and gross darkness your people. But arise now, Africa. Shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Join Development Channel as it brings strong middle class, food security, and strong infrastructure to all of Africa. Door to door, street by street, person to person, no stone unturned. Hurry in. For centuries, the African continent has been exploited economically by malicious invaders, both foreign and domestic. Our human and material resources have developed both Europe and America, while our people perish in abject poverty. Now, there's a permanent, sustainable, and highly effective solution.
Well, good day. It's a pleasure to speak to you. My name is King Charles N. Lambert. I am the creator of Compassionate Capitalism, and I'm the leader of Africa's first economic war for economic independence. I am the leader of this war because I'm the creator of this new economic system that is known as Compassionate Capitalism. Now, very importantly, I'm also the author of something known as Africa Rebirth. Now, most people have heard about Africa Renaissance. It was going to happen at some point. There's going to be a renaissance. There's been a lot of talk about that. I am the author of the blueprint for that renaissance, which is known as Africa Rebirth. Now, why rebirth? Why renaissance? People always wonder why do you need a rebirth? Why do you need a renaissance? Why do you need something new? Now, renaissance is a French word. It means rebirth. It's the same thing. So when you hear rebirth, it means the same word people have been pushing around for the past decades, which is renaissance. But why do we need that rebirth? It's a very important question. And the answer is very simple. There's a book written by a European. This guy's name is Walter Rodney. And the book is called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, by a European wrote this book. So the simple thing is that Europe underdeveloped Africa when they came to colonize Africa. They put Africa in a position where Africa remains underdeveloped. And the facts and the figures are everywhere, the statistics are everywhere to prove that Europe actually underdeveloped Africa. The primary reason why they underdeveloped Africa is because they tried to copy and paste their systems on Africa. They didn't care to understand the Africans and tailor systems that fit the people. They copied and pasted what they were doing in Europe on Africa. Simple as that. And that simple copying and pasting of European systems on Africa is what led to Africa becoming underdeveloped, remaining underdeveloped to this day. So when we talk about Africa Rebirth, it means we have to recreate every single part of how the African society functions in a way that is suited to the Africans, not in a way that is suited to the European narrative. If you can achieve creating a new system of doing things in Africa, a new approach to doing things in Africa, then you've achieved what is known as Africa Rebirth, and what has long been talked about as Africa Renaissance. I am the author of the blueprint to achieve this Africa Rebirth. It means every single area that Europeans copied and pasted their systems in Africa have been able to find a solution to make a new system that is more tailored towards the Africans become a reality. Now, like what? You say, give me an example. There's a lot of examples. The critical example is the new economic system which I created called Compassionate Capitalism. Now, this is not the audio for me to go into compassionate capitalism and what it's all about, But it's the principal thing that we have changed, that Europeans brought capitalism here. It doesn't work for our people. So we had to bring compassionate capitalism, a different economic system that favors the Africans. But like I said, this is not a conversation for today. So I want to dive more into the conversation for today, which is another thing that Europeans brought, which we're going to change, which we have already changed in terms of principle, which we're now going to practicalize that change. What is that thing? It is the need for tribe-based allocation of jobs. Now, when Europeans came here, before they even came here, I don't know if you're aware of this, they drew the countries we have now from Brussels. Brussels is where they have European headquarters till today. So it's where Europeans who met, and then they brought out the map of Africa and they drew boundaries while they were in Brussels. They did not draw these boundaries while they were in Africa. No. They did not draw these boundaries knowing what our forefathers think about the boundaries. They did not draw the boundaries knowing what tribes live where, what people live where, who is close to water, who is not. They didn't care. They drew the boundaries in Brussels, completely disregarding what was going on ground in Africa. So if you talk about Africa rebate, right there you already have a problem with those boundaries, because now you have to change that. You sincerely have to change that. But again, that is not the conversation for today. The conversation for today is another thing they brought, which is by creating their countries. Those countries were created by Europe. All those countries in Africa were created by Europe. There's no such country before Europeans came. Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, they are all European creations. Congo, Cameroon, they are not African countries. They did not come from Africa. For instance, the place called Nigeria, the real name is Niger area, where there are a lot of niggers. That's really what it is. So from Niger area, they started calling it Nigeria. This is a European creation. But again, this is not the conversation we want to talk about today. These are all facts I'm telling you here. There's nothing here that is my idea. Nothing you have heard from me so far is my idea. These are proven, documented, accepted facts. So we go into the issue of tribe. So because Europeans created these countries, it's their agenda, those countries. Those countries are their subjects. Those countries are their colonies, meaning they are their babies. So because they created those countries, they were very much interested in forcing us into accepting the identity of the countries that they have created. So they forced us to become associated with the identity of Ghana, for instance, the identity of Uganda, for instance, the identity of Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger. These are their creations. They forced us to now accept that identity as our identity. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You will say, yeah, what's wrong with that? Let's be Nigerians, Congolese. That's no problem. But here's the problem. In trying to do that, they disregarded our tribes. They tried to force away, force down, push it out, the issue of the tribes that exist in Africa. They had to alleviate the countries above the tribe. They had to force the tribes under a country. And they said, this is how to kill tribalism and all your wars you people keep having here, your misunderstandings with your tribes. Come under these countries. Now, here's the problem with that. The problem with that is when you come to production, which is what we're concerned about, this movement called the Black Wall Street Movement for Economic Independence, led by myself and sanctioned by every known entity in Africa, is behind what we're doing because it's the right way to go. Why is it the right way to go? Because when you talk about emancipation of a people, when you talk about a people becoming economically independent, one, they have to produce what they consume. Right now, they made us become people that import. We give them natural resources, they bring us finished product. We're still in that process till today, which is the reason we are in poverty. We have to break away from that process by practically manufacturing, producing what we are consuming. So if we're going to become a production continent, a place where there's a lot of production activities, then we need to know who can help us to achieve this production. Because right now, Africa, everything that happens here fails. Why does it fail? Because we no longer have the tribes to use to target who is right for the job. In the times of our forefathers, you will say, oh, this man from this tribe, they make good hunters. That tribe, they make good builders. That tribe, they make good fighters. That tribe, they make the best palm wine. That tribe, the women who know how to weave clothes. So we know what tribe bring to the table in terms of commercial activities and production process. So it was very easy for us to target jobs to the right tribes. Very easy. But by bringing this system where there's a neglect of the tribes, where they're forcing us to embrace a country identity, we neglect our characteristics, our nature, our individual differences and abilities based on our community, based on our character traits, based on our tribe, our family, how we are raised as a people. They negate that and then offer jobs just to nobody. To nobody. Because these jobs are no longer tailored to the tribes who can do them. They're just offered to a people in the name of a nation or some country. So part of the Africa rebate strategy is to go back to tribe-based allocation of jobs. And this is what we're doing. So specifically today, I want to talk about a particular tribe that we're locating a particular job to. And this tribe is known as the Igbos. The Igbos are scattered across Africa, but they are predominantly in what is known as eastern part of Nigeria. The country called Nigeria, the eastern part, West Africa. A lot of the Igbos tend to sort of settle in that area. They were not originally from there. They came from somewhere else and they settled there. The Igbos are perfect for what is known as project management, project execution, development initiatives. They are the best tribe in Africa for that. Number one reason, they are the first and only tribe in Africa that develops communities that are not naturally theirs. Wherever the Igbos go, they develop the place. They build whatever. They don't say, I'm not from here, so I'm not going to build this house. They build, they develop, they travel more than any other tribe all across Africa, and they develop wherever they go. So naturally, Igbos are project-oriented. They want to do something and see the result of it. They want to put together something. They want to build. They want to set up a factory. They want to start a business, the entrepreneur. They want to create an endeavor. So at the Black Wall Street Pan-African Job Centers, we have a job that is specific for Igbos because of that nature of traveling across anywhere and doing projects wherever. It is known as the Pan-African Job Centers Project Manager. The Pan-African Job Center Project Manager is what this position is all about. It's a fantastic opportunity. It's a great, great position because it appeals to you as an Igbo person, as an Igbo man, an Igbo woman. It appeals to you because you can travel across Africa and you'll be able to execute projects. You'll be able to put something down and you can say, I built that, which is the pride of an Igbo person, is to bring development to a community, which is why we say here that the Igbos are the light of Africa. Now, it doesn't mean that the Igbos are superior to other tribes in Africa. No, it's just that specifically they provide the function of light, of leading, of showing the way, of bringing the development to Africa. And this is the role that Igbos must play all across the whole of Africa. Now, so the simple question is, what is Pan-African Job Center? Because your project manager for Pan-African Job Center, your Pan-African Job Center project manager. Now, the Pan-African Job Center is a facility dedicated to citizen youth economic value development through certified pieces of training, job placement, and active involvement in both community development and individual wealth portfolio building. This is the definition of Pan-African Job Center. It's a facility that is dedicated to citizen youth economic value development through certified pieces of training, job placement, and active involvement in both community development and individual wealth portfolio building. So the whole concept is to ensure that African youth are processed towards economic independence individually. Like if you go to Europe right now, you can say more than 80% of Europeans are economically independent as people, as a person. They're economically independent. See, the same way Africa does not have economic independence as a continent is how our people do not have economic independence as individuals. So the concept of Pan-African Job Center is to bring economic independence to the region where the facility is located and to the people who are in the facility. And the Pan-African Job Center is going to cater for 390 million youth and the whole entire 1.3 billion African population. So what it simply means is that Pan-African Job Center gives you the opportunity as a project manager who's working under it to be involved in countless number of projects. All the factories for the youths to work, they have to be processed through Pan-African Job Centers. All the social amenities, all the libraries that have to be built across Africa, because now we have to rebuild Africa, you see. And for your information, Africa has the resources to rebuild itself. Africa is well over $50 trillion in value. Right now, Africa has a $2 trillion purchasing power. And because of compassionate capitalism investment points, we're going to harness a lot of that money. And all those investment points and the hundreds of billions of dollars that will be saved in capital flight each year will be poured into the projects under Pan-African Job Centers to create jobs for these youths, to create places of income opportunities, to create supply contracts, to control our production process and make sure that every single African individual achieves economic independence through wealth portfolio building. Now, there's a lot about Pan-African Job Centers. As you become part of this, you'll watch other videos that explains it in detail, because this particular audio is not about Pan-African Job Centers. It's about the Pan-African Job Centers project managers. This is your introduction into this wonderful journey that you're about to undertake. So I just need to give you a slight understanding of Pan-African Job Centers. It is something that is priceless. It will be all across Africa this definite year, 2023. There'll be 13,000 locations of it built across Africa. Over 390 million youth will be participating in it, and over 1 billion people will be served through Pan-African Job Centers. Pan-African Job Centers is how we're going to achieve a total turnaround of Africa, and then the Africa rebirth goes from the concept, which I've written over the past 20 years, writing it down in specific principles of how the rebirth is going to happen, to actual execution, where we turn that rebirth to new villages, to new towns, to new communities, to new factories, to a new Africa built by you, the Igbo youths who are coming on board as project managers on this wonderful platform. So the simple question then will be, what are the current projects? I'm coming on board as a project manager. Are there any current projects that I'm going to undertake? Yes, there's a process for us to get you in. I'll go into that process in a minute. But you're coming as Pan-African project managers, so you're going to be involved in two primary projects from the very beginning. One, you're going to be involved in building Pan-African Job Center facilities. Now, we have a new method to building, for faster building, well, for cheaper building. We have a new method. It's called the modular structure system. In the modular structure system, we assemble houses. Now, you'll understand this when you start taking the courses, but I'm just going to give you a slight idea. So it means we can practically build these 13,000 locations in a twinkle of an eye. We can build factories everywhere in a twinkle of an eye, because we assemble the building. The buildings are printed as structures. There are printed structures. We use something called the wood assembly, controlled assembly through a system we have for wood. They supply wood to these factories. These factories follow the laid down architectural design and turns the wood to the panels for every facility. Now, you simply just take those panels, get to site, do the foundation, put up the panels, put up the panels, put up the panels, put up the panels, and you have an entire structure. This is how we intend to build the whole of Africa in a twinkle of an eye. We're not going to use the cement that takes 3 months to dry and is very expensive and is a long method of building. This is very straightforward. This gets the structures everywhere because we need to develop our villages. We have to build our villages. We have to build our hospitals. We have to build hotels. Right now, Africa, for your information, has a housing deficit of more than 60%. So 60% of Africans are squatting. They don't have a roof for themselves. We are in 60% minus in the amount of housing structures that we need. And for your information, we have the land. We have more land than China, Europe, and US combined, put together. We have more land than them. So why are we not developing our land? Why are we not going into the forest and building new cities and new towns? That's exactly what we're doing right now with this program of bringing you on board as a project manager. And there are 2 critical projects, so we're going to spread across Africa. The first project is the Pan-African Job Centers facility itself. The next project are the housing estates. Like I told you, we have a housing deficit. So we have a plan to build 100,000 housing estates across Africa. I repeat, 100,000 housing estates. Each housing estate is going to take 1,000 families. So that's 100 million homes we're talking about that needs to be set up in Africa right now because of our shortage. Now, each of these housing estates have factories set up that supports them. Because remember, right now, we are importing everything from abroad. We are not producing. So as we set up these housing estates, we set up factories of production. So we have some mobile phone factory in one area. We have a TV making factory in another area. We have another factory in another area that supports the people that live in that housing estate, that provides jobs for the people that live in that housing estate. So as a Pan-African Job Center project manager, you're coming to do 2 critical things. The first thing you're coming to do is to build out the Pan-African Job Center facility itself. The second thing you're coming to do is to build out the 100,000 housing estates and the adjoining factories that we are talking about. So this opportunity has the capacity to swallow 105,000 Igbo youth, male and female, who are interested in project management, who would like the opportunity to travel across Africa and develop Africa and build Africa and turn Africa to the wonderful place that we've all dreamed of seeing as Africans. So what are the entry requirements? But before I go into the entry requirements, I just want to mention this to you. What impact will Pan-African Job Centers have in Africa? It's very important for you to understand what you're part of. It's not just about making money. You're going to make money from this, but what is it that you're part of? What is the impact to society? Well, the Pan-African Job Center, which you are the project manager for, will have 7 critical things it's going to affect Africa in. Number 1, it's going to be the catalyst for grassroots economic development. It's going to bring, number 2, unending job creation. There will always be jobs. Number 3, it's going to bring prosperity and end of gross poverty. Gross poverty, most people don't have it. It's not in Europe. It's not in North America. Why is it here? We are the richest continent in the world. We have all the resources, material. We have all the natural resources. We have all the human resources. So why do we have gross poverty? They don't have in Europe. They don't have in North America. They have poverty, but they don't have gross poverty. We have to end gross poverty. That's when they talk about earning $1 per day. That's called gross poverty. We have to end it in Africa completely. And it's going to end because of Pan-African Job Centers. Number 4 is going to bring increased stability and security. Why is there increased stability? Because people have jobs, people have more economic empowerment. So of course there'll be more security, there'll be less crime in our society. It's going to bring unity and social harmony. People now have a reason to come together to make things happen. Number 6 is going to bring mass education and enlightenment, because through Pan-African Job Centers, everybody in Africa will get to know the truth about what Europeans did here, about how we have been destroyed by foreigners, about how our resources are being taken. There will be way more mass education and enlightenment on the truth of our situation because of Pan-African Job Centers. And you know that the people who are informed, who are enlightened, who are illuminated in their minds are a powerful people. And because of this, we are going to make Africans more powerful through this mass education and enlightenment. And then finally, the Pan-African Job Center will bring continental pride and increased value to Africa as a place. So these are fantastic things it will do in Africa. You should be very proud to be part of it, because Pan-African Job Centers is bound to have serious impact in Africa. Someone never heard about project management before. Project management is something that's very of interest to me. It should be of interest to you, especially if you're an Igbo person, because Igbos by nature, I keep saying that, Igbos by nature are project managers. By nature, they're the educated ones. I mean, some other people can buy and sell, Igbos too, they're good traders, but they're very good project. Educated ones are very good project managers. It is in their nature to be project managers. So Igbos should gravitate to project management certification more than any other tribe in Africa, because it's who you are. Now, what is project management? Project management, this is a definition from the Project Management Institute. Now, I don't know if you know this, but project management is one of the big, fastest growing disciplines in the professional world. It's a very powerful, fast-growing discipline. And they have something called the Project Management Institute. So this is not something that we've created. This is something that is out there in the world, Project Management Institute. And people that have project management certifications are very well paid. They never lack jobs. So if you have project management certification, whether it's Pan-African Job Centers, or whether it's ABC, or whether it's Europe, or whether it's America, it becomes relevant. They will hire you because of this training. It's a priceless training to be certified as a project manager. So why is that? What is project management? Well, project management is the use of specific knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to deliver something of value to people. So when you use specific knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to deliver something of value to people, then you're a project manager. Now, notice the key word there, deliver something of value. You see, that's why it appeals to Igbos. This is who we are as a nation. This is who Igbo people are. They are people who want to deliver something of value to someone else, to a people. So project management is that's what is defined, and a project manager is a person who does what? Who uses specific knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to deliver something of value to people. And what we're asking you to come on board and deliver right now that's of value is the Pan-African Job Centers, is the housing estate, is the factories, construction all across the African continent. I've already mentioned about the issue of certification. I just said, yes, you're going to be certified through an international body known as the Project Management Institute. And they're going to give you a certification through our platform, the Black Wall Street platform, the Compassionate Capitalism platform. Through this platform, you're going to get the project management certification. And in fact, we can't even give you a job except they certify you. They have to certify you that yes, you're certified, you understand project management, you know what it takes to execute projects. Then you get further training on the actual projects that you're executing, like building Pan-African Job Centers, like building those housing estates. You get further training on the specifics, but only after you have been certified by the Project Management Institute. But what is wonderful is that the platform gives you the opportunity to earn the income to pay for the certification, because even the training from the Project Management Institute is expensive, it's in dollars. Everything about project management certification, the training and the certification, the exam itself costs close to $1,000 Not we. It's just what it costs. If you go to a project management institute, it's what they're going to charge you. The training and the exam is about $1,000. But through this platform, we'll give you the opportunity for you to work, earn that money, pay for that certification, get certified, and then get the job as a project manager. It's too fantastic. It is designed to empower you. So instead of you to look for $1,000 to go and get certified, then start looking for a job in project management. You get certified to the platform. We'll give you opportunity for you to earn income, earn commissions that helps you to pay for the certification. Then when you're certified, then we also give you the jobs for you to actually do. Either you get certified and you're doing the jobs in the actual execution of the facilities, the Pan-African Job Center facility, or you're doing the execution of the housing estates or the factories. Just be very rest assured that there'll be jobs for you to do. Now, in terms of entry requirement, you have to understand that if you're not a graduate, at least of a university, of a polytechnic with HND, don't worry about this. It's not for you. It's very academic. Project management is academic. So you need to have understood academics a little bit. Then you can be able to get into this field we're talking about. Now, so if you're a graduate of any discipline, doesn't matter what you study, as long as you're a graduate. Now, there's something like graduate of project management. Project management is not yet something that they offer in BSc level. I don't know if they do right now, but it's something that is offered as a professional course. Meaning you have to have a normal degree in whatever you studied, then you now come into being certified in project management. Now, as long as you have a degree of some sort and you have 2 years work experience, you can apply. Now, after you apply, you have to go through the documents, the materials, everything that has to do with this and the compassionate capitalism revolution. Then you will be vetted if you have understood what it takes, if you have the passion to be admitted. When you are admitted, then you will recruit people called your IP drive coordinators. I'll go to that just before we round up. Now, you're supposed to have 20 IP drive coordinators. You can have between 20 to 30 of them, IP drive coordinators. As soon as you have the IP drive coordinators, you have gone through the materials, you're a graduate of 2 years, these 3 basic requirements is what it takes for you to become certified, to become part of the platform, for you to be admitted, for you to say, yeah, you can go ahead. What happens? What happens is that the IP drive coordinators, they have a role to play. They're supposed to be teenagers, they work for you, they work under your link, and they do something called IP drive. You can understand that as you understand the entire program. Those IP drive coordinators, they're going to be 20 to 30 of them, they help you earn income. They'll be making you some money because they're working under you. They're youth, they're working, but you're also a youth, but we expect you to have been a graduate of at least 2 years experience. These people are supposed to be in their 19, 18 years old. So they are 4 or 5 years younger than you, and they work under you. They are 20 to 30 years old. There are 20 to 30 of them. Now, those people are generating you some money. So the work they're going to do on the platform will generate you income. Through that income, you're getting some money for yourself and you're paying for your certification in project management. After you are paid and you're certified and plus you're earning income, then you move into the project management proper. And that's how it works. That's how you get confirmed. When you get confirmed, we start at $1,000 per month, basic salary. So you have that every month, $12,000 per year. Now, you have a 20-year contract from when you're certified, then with retirement benefits. It means when you're certified, for 20 years, you're guaranteed a job as a project manager among Pan-African job centers. As a Pan-African job center project manager, you're guaranteed a job of basic starting salary. It's going to go up as you do projects, as you develop things, we sell those things, your salary will go up. It will not remain $12,000. It might go up to $30,000, $20,000, $35,000, $50,000, depending on how you're producing with projects. It starts at $12,000 per annum once you're certified. Now, like I said, before you're certified, the teenagers working under you are helping you generate income. Even after you're certified, they're also helping you to make commissions on the side. So they're driving, they're doing work, they're working under you, they're helping you to get income to pay for your certification. After you're certified, you have $12,000 per month basic salary, $12,000 per year basic salary, $1,000 per month, 20 years contract, retirement benefit. Then you get commissions from what the teenagers are doing, from the projects you're doing. You get bonuses, you get other target-based incentives. So that is what the whole offer is about. Now, there's also a program we have which is called work-based credit. So once you're certified, you'll be able to get a car, and then we can deduct the money from your car the same way they do in the US and in the UK. Because you have this job, we can deduct, we can give you, you can get a car on credit, and you can get a home on credit, and you'll be able to pay mortgage on it. So high expensive items, you'll be able to get them without trying to mop up the money to buy them. You'll be able to live a life of somebody who lives in America or lives in Europe. Because you're certified in this job, you'll be able to have access to owning the home, owning a car, because the money can be deducted from your salary. You also get retirement packages. So before I go in this conversation, let's just talk about who are your IP coordinators, those 20 people you have to hire. Well, their job is to help drive the youth to drive investment points. Investment point is what brings the capital that funds your projects. So you understand this more. But these people's job is to be on the phone, make presentations, talking to youths, directing the youths. They will be trained in their job, but their whole purpose is to drive investment points. Investment points come from people buying something on the platform, buying a product through a producer, getting a service through a service provider. Whatever they buy through somebody on the platform, they get investment points. Those investment points are invested in your projects, in what you're building. So these people are known as your investment point drive coordinators, because they have to drive all the 300 million youth, whatever number that is suited for your 20 people to drive, to make sure that capital is available to fund you and your projects. Now, next question is, who are my managers and supervisors? Well, your manager is your captain. If you're a project manager, because we have captains, salary is different for them. Entry requirement is also slightly different for them. The captains is all listed in this material. The captain is your manager if you're a project manager. Now, if you're a captain, then the ambassador, because we have ambassadors, they are drawn from lecturers, ambassadors of Pan-African Job Centers. That ambassador is the manager to the captain. Now, in terms of supervision, we have given away most of the supervision to India, because Indians have very good supervisors. You see, I keep talking about people being appealed to in their basic capacity. Indians, in their basic nature as Indians, are very good supervisors. So your India will come, your supervisor will come through something known as the India-Africa Technology Pact. Those will be your supervisor. And it will vary depending on what you're doing at each point. Now, another question is, what is the platform? Well, the platform is where everything happens. Your appointment letters, your ID cards, your training, your certification, your contracts, everything is through the platform, the Compassionate Capital platform, also known as the Black Wall Street platform. Your tracking of orders, your withdrawal of your money, your investment portfolio, everything that has to do with the job is available through your platform, through the platform. When you log into the platform, you will log in as a project manager. Then through that, you have tools in the platform that you can use to do whatever it is you want to do. So before I go, I just want to round up this. Who else is promoting this platform? We are flooded with Africa's celebrities. Who is who? From all across Africa, from Uganda to Kenya, to all across to Nigeria, to Ghana. We are flooded. Every who is who in Africa has saw something or is about to have something to say about what we're doing with Africa Rebirth and Pan-African Job Centers and what this whole thing is all about. We have been endorsed by every single person. And the media, the same thing, they're all in support. The governments in Africa, they're all in support. So the support is there. It's not something we're doing without support. We have the support of the celebrities, support of the media, support of the government. So what is it that you're looking for again? You have the entire support. You're not fighting people who don't want to work with you. It's foolishness. You're working with people who they embrace what you're doing. They're saying, Igbos, you're going to lead us in this thing. Go ahead and lead us in it. They're not here to oppress Igbos or put Igbos down and all these kind of stories. They're interested in what role the Igbos can play in making Africa a superpower. So getting started is quite easy. You apply formally. Again, you have to use investment points to apply. because that's how you get your initial training. Everything is by investment points. How do you get your initial investment point? Is to purchase the project manager promotional materials. There are things you can buy, t-shirts, face cap. It gives you investment points. Those investment points that give you the chance to be able to apply and start doing things on the platform. So if again the promotional materials, they're too expensive, all of them together, you buy them one, two, the little you whatever you buy, two t-shirts, you buy one face cap. You don't have to buy all of them, the backpack together. No, you buy one or two, you can afford. You get investment point. You start moving forward with the project. Now, for the captains among you, it's slightly different. The ambassador will guide you. Is also written here for you to know what is different for the captains. But that's exactly what this is all about. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to get a job and work as a project manager for the Pan-African Job Centers, which is a fantastic modern innovation that is designed to turn Africa Rebet into something tangible, something physical, something Africans can touch, feel, and participate in. And we can build Africa and make it the superpower that Africa is designed and was originated by God to become. So as Igbos, I'm speaking to you to make sure that you jump aboard this platform, seize this initiative, take it very personal and very serious, because it's who you are as a people. You're a people that like to build, like to develop, like to bring things to pass. And that's why the Project Managers platform opportunity is a fantastic one for you to take and be part of. And on this note, I'm going to round up by saying something that's always very important, which is to put Africa first. When you put Africa first, Africa will lift you up, believe you me. So we're going to put Africa first, and we're going to say Africa first, Africa first, Africa first. Economic war, we are winning. Join us to ensure that your pocket is doing well.
Spread the word. The kingdom of the God of Abraham is here. A new world of compassionate capitalism.
Anywhere you go, if you don't see woman, no one negi bocha.
Bocha poso neba fulelele, la chaposo neba futileti. Obodo silike na ndi bogabane, abanye bafu ebulike wekota. Ugochukwu nyela nyenya waka eji agano. Iyoko. They starve our children on your kanji ebese. Nandekano one jisike. Emenu mana no chechuku genelele.
ọsọ n'ebe ahụ tiri